God calls you to stillness and trust, revealing a moment of divine transformation where fear dissolves and faith rises. You're encouraged to trust in His orchestration of blessings and divine favor for you and your loved ones. The earth beneath your feet has known storms before, and yet it holds firm. The sky, ever shifting with seasons and clouds, still cradles the light that guides your path. So too is your journey a sacred dance between what is seen and what is unseen, what is known and what must be walked by faith alone. There is a whisper that moves like wind through the pines, through the bones of the old ones, echoing from mountaintops and valleys. That voice says, "Be still." In stillness, you find not emptiness, but presence. Not the absence of sound, but the fullness of peace. And in that peace, you are not abandoned, you are met by a presence far greater than fear, far deeper than doubt. Trust is not a thing made of perfect moments, but of worn paths walked in the dark, with only a lantern of hope. You are not alone on that trail. The ancestors walk with you, quiet and strong, their steps falling beside yours, unseen but certain. Each footstep is prayer, each breath an offering. In this space, God does not rush. He is not hurried by the ticking of clocks or the loud voices of urgency. He weaves all things together in time, His time. And you are part of that weaving, golden thread stretched across generations, shaped by storms, yet never unraveled. Every trial you face was not punishment, but preparation. Every silence was not neglect, but the pause before the song. There is a divine unfolding slow like sunrise. First the shadows soften, then a golden hue rests on the land, and finally the full light warms the earth. So it is, with the blessings meant for you, they are not late, they are forming, you are not forgotten, you are being readied, and those blessings, they do not come in pieces, but in wholeness. For He gives not according to measure, but according to love. Faith rises when you choose to believe before the fruit appears. When you plant with no guarantee, but the promise that what is sown in trust will not return void. The soil knows what to do with the seed, and spirit knows what to do with your surrender. You do not need to see the rain to know it's coming. You do not need to hear the river to believe it flows. Some truths are known not with the ears or eyes, but with the heart that listens, with the spirit that remembers. So let go of the fear that wraps itself around your thoughts. Let it fall like old bark from a tree, no longer needed. Let your roots go deeper. Let your soul stretch toward heaven like a cedar reaching for light. There is power in yielding. There is strength in trust. Even now, as you read these words, something is shifting. The burden that pressed heavy against your chest begins to lift. The anxiety that circled like a hawk above your head begins to quiet. In their place, a stillness surely, wide a sky settles over you. This is the place where faith is born. Not in the noise, not in the rush, but in the pause. In the breath between heartbeats, in the silence that speaks louder than words. Let your hands be open. Let your heart be soft. Receive what is being poured into your life. You are being positioned not by chance, but by grace. Not through effort alone, but through surrender. His orchestration is not random, it is sacred. Every note of your life has meaning. Every silence a rest between holy chords. You are not just surviving, you are being shaped. Not just waiting, you are being watched over. And every longing, every question, every whispered when is held in hands that do not drop or forget. He knows, He hears, He acts in love. And so, beloved one, be still. Stillness is not an absence, it is a presence. A presence where your spirit no longer has to fight for space. In this sacred stillness, the ground of your being becomes steady, and your breath finds rhythm again. Here, the voice of the Holy One speaks not in thunder, but in whisper, not in demands, but in gentle invitation. You are not called to strive. You are called to be held, to be loved. To be guided with care, like a canoe floating upon still waters under the wide sky. You are not forgotten. You have not been overlooked. The time you've spent in waiting has not been wasted, it has been sacred preparation. Just as the roots grow deep in silence before the tree breaks ground, your soul has been digging down to where the living waters flow. The world may see delay, but heaven sees development. You have been ready, not rushed. There are things being aligned for your good that your eyes cannot yet see. Paths being cleared, doors being carved. What you thought was the end was only a bend. What felt like falling apart was really being rearranged. You have not lost your way, you have been repositioned. And in this new place, blessings that once could not find you will now flow like river water after spring thaw. You are being invited to walk not by sight, but by sacred trust. Like our ancestors who followed the stars across night skies, who moved at the call of spirit, not knowing every destination but believing in divine guidance, you too are being called forward. The map may not be in your hands, but the maker of the path walks beside you. His steps steady your own. Do not fear, the unknown is where miracles are made. The soil of mystery grows the strongest roots. The wilderness has always been holy ground. In the wilderness, bread fell from heaven. In the wilderness, water flowed from rocks. In the wilderness, voices were strengthened and vision was restored. You are not lost in the wild, you are being refined. Let yourself remember. Remember who walks with you. The one who called you by name before you were formed. The one who placed purpose in your bones before breath touched your lungs. The one who sings over you when you sleep and stands guard when you can no longer hold your own head up. That one, he is not far. He is not silent. He is not passive. He is working in ways that stretch beyond the reach of your understanding. You were never meant to carry the weight alone. Let the burden down. Let the questions rest. You do not need to solve everything. You only need to stay close. Stay near the flame that never dies, the voice that never lies. You are not being led in circles, you are being led deeper. Deeper into trust, deeper into love. Deeper into a life not ruled by fear, but shaped by divine promise. He is aligning people, timing, and provision. He is moving hearts and shifting circumstances. He is healing what you thought would always ache. The waiting has not been for nothing. It has forged something precious within you. You have grown wings in the darno, you will soar in the light. Faith is not pretending everything is fine. It's knowing that even when it's not, God still is. Faith is not being strong all the time. It's being willing to fall into arms that catch you every time. And you, beloved, are caught. You are known, seen, held. So breathe deep. Let the peace that passes all understanding cover you like a warm blanket in winter wind. Let it soak into your skin, down into your spirit. You do not need to fear what comes next. You only need to keep moving step by step into the light that is already waiting for you. Even now, the shift continues. What you've prayed for is nearer than you think. What you've let go of is making room for something greater. What you've surrendered is returning, multiplied. Do not worry how it will happen. Just be ready to receive, with hands open, with heart wide. This is your time not because everything is perfect, but because you are finally aligned with the rhythm of grace. The wind is at your back, the spirit is within you, and the way forward has already been blessed. Walk on. The path before you is not a straight line, and it was never meant to be. The journey you walk is one of many winding turns, dips, and rise seats designed to shape you, to refine you, and to bring you closer to the heart of the one who knows you better than you know yourself. The sacred way you are called to travel is not one of ease, but one of deep transformation. In every bend, you are being changed. In every shadow, you are being made whole. You must remember this as you walk forward, dear one. You are not just a traveler in this world, but a witness to the divine unfolding. Every moment is an opportunity to bear witness to the Creator's handiwork. Every sunrise and sunset, every storm that passes, every quiet day that turns into night is a divine rhythm playing out across your life. And you are part of the song. When your heart grows heavy with the weight of what you do not understand, when the horizon seems distant and unreachable, know that you are not alone. The one who calls you to this journey is also the one who knows every stone and every branch on the path. He has walked this road before you, and he walks it still. His steps have made way for you. His footsteps echo in the silence, calling you forward, even when you cannot see the next step clearly. It's easy to think you must have all the answers now, but that is not what faith asks of you. Faith asks you to trust without needing to understand all the details. Faith asks you to lean not on your own understanding, but to rest in the assurance that the path is already ordained. Even when it seems dark, the road is leading somewhere beautiful, somewhere good, somewhere that is waiting for you. Look, beloved, how the seasons change without resistance. The leaves fall, and the earth is made ready for new growth. The wind comes, and the rains pour to nourish the soil. It's not by force, but by the natural rhythm of life. You too are being made ready. You too are being prepared for the next season. Do not resist the changes that come, for they are leading you to greater things. You are becoming more than you can see right now. And it is in this becoming, this constant unfolding, that you will discover the beauty of God's plan. It is not a plan that is made all at once, nor is it one that is laid out in easy, perfect steps. It is a plan that unfolds like the petals of a flower, slowly, gently, with moments of awe. You may not yet see the fullness of it, but trust that it is there. Trust that every step you take, no matter how small, is a part of the masterpiece that is being created in you. Now, as you move forward, it's important to hold tight to one truth. God's love for you is unshakable. His love is not dependent on your performance, your perfection, or your understanding. It is a love that sees you fully as you are and still chooses to walk beside you. It is a love that knows your flaws, your weaknesses, your doubts, and loves you with a fierceness that can never be swayed. His love is constant. It is the foundation upon which your journey is built. So when fear rises up, when doubt tries to grip your heart, return to that truth. God's love is greater than any fear. It is stronger than any doubt. It is the very thing that will carry you through the darkest days and bring you into the light. Do not allow yourself to be overwhelmed by what you cannot control. Instead, surrender it all into His hands and know that He will lead you to the place where your soul can finally rest. There will be moments when you feel like you are standing at the edge, looking into the unknown, unsure of where to step next. But take heart, because it is in those moments that God's presence is the closest. He is there in the silence, in the stillness. He is there in the midst of the uncertainty, reminding you that you do not walk this road alone. He is with you always, even to the end of the age. And when you feel tired, when your strength seems to be failing, remember that His strength is made perfect in your weakness. He is not asking you to do this on your own. He is asking you to trust Him to carry you through. When you feel like giving up, let His love hold you up. Let it be the support beneath you. Let it be the light in your darkest moments. The road may seem long, but it is leading to something glorious. The waiting, the journey, the transformation, it's all part of the great plan. It is all part of the great mystery of God's love, which is deeper and higher than we can comprehend. Keep moving forward, step by step. You are not where you once were, and you are not yet where you will be. But in the stillness, in the trust, in the faith that you carry, you are exactly where you need to be. God has placed you here in this moment for a reason. And as you continue to walk, you will see the beauty in the unfolding. So walk on, dear one. Walk on in the knowledge that you are held, that you are loved, and that every step you take brings you closer to the fulfillment of the promise that was made to you long before you ever took your first breath. The journey is not over. It is only just beginning. And in the beginning of each day, before the sun fully climbs the sky, there's a sacred invitation whispered into the Sula gentle reminder that today is also part of the promise. This moment, this breath, this stretch of quiet morning is a gift not to be overlooked. Though you may not see the whole picture, you are living within the strokes of a masterpiece still unfolding. And every moment matters. Every small act of courage, every prayer whispered through tears, every step forward in the face of uncertainty, it all carries eternal weight. Let your heart rest in that truth. You were not created to chase every answer, nor to outrun every shadow. You were made to walk with purpose, anchored in the quiet, knowing that what's ahead has already been seen by the one who leads you. You are not walking into the unknown. You are walking into a future held together by divine hands. You are walking into goodness, prepared for you step by step, heartbeat by heartbeat. There is a rhythm in your life that cannot be disturbed by fear if you remain rooted in Him. The world may roar around you, storms may rise with thunder, but the peace of God is not fragile. It does not tremble with the winds of change. It stands firm. His peace is a refuge you can always return to, a place within you where His Spirit breathes stillness even when everything else is unsettled. Don't be afraid to return there often. Return to that place where your soul remembers who it belongs to. Return to that deep center where you are not striving but simply being, where God's presence wraps around you like warmth in winter, like water in the dry places. There is no shame in needing rest. Even the strongest trees must be still before they bloom again. So let yourself be still, let yourself breathe, let yourself belong. You are not made to live in fear. You are not meant to be bound by the heavy yoke of worry. You were made to walk in light, to move freely in grace, to live as one who knows the end is already victorious. You are more than a survivor. You are a child of promise. You are marked by favor. Your story carries redemption in every chapter, and God is still writing. Even now in the waiting, He is working. Even now in the silence, He is speaking. His voice is not always thunder, it is often a whisper in the stillness. So lean in, listen closely. His guidance may come gently, quietly, in ways you didn't expect. A word from a stranger, a verse you read without planning to, a song that stirs something long buried. These are not coincidences. These are reminders, sacred echoes. God is near. When you are tempted to believe the lie that you've been forgotten, remember this. You are engraved on the palms of His hands. You are not just seen. You are known, loved, carried. You are not one among the crowd. You are His beloved, chosen before time began, held in a love that does not falter. There has never been a moment, not one, when you were outside the gaze of His care. Even in the places where you feel most hidden, God sees you. Even in the places where your prayers feel unanswered, He hears you. And even when your faith feels weak, it is enough. He does not ask for perfect belief. He asks for your trust. Trust like a seed, small and quiet, yet alive. He can grow that. He will grow that. And while you wait for the things you cannot yet see, do not miss the beauty of what is already here. The kindness of strangers, the laughter that catches you by surprise, the breeze that carries the scent of blooming things. These are glimpses of glory. The path before you is not a straight line, and it was never meant to be. The journey you walk is one of many winding turns, dips, and rise seats designed to shape you, to refine you, and to bring you closer to the heart of the one who knows you better than you know yourself. The sacred way you are called to travel is not one of ease, but one of deep transformation. In every bend, you are being changed. In every shadow, you are being made whole. You must remember this as you walk forward, dear one. You are not just a traveler in this world, but a witness to the divine unfolding. Every moment is an opportunity to bear witness to the Creator's handiwork. Every sunrise and sunset, every storm that passes, every quiet day that turns into night is a divine rhythm playing out across your life. And you are part of the song. When your heart grows heavy with the weight of what you do not understand, when the horizon seems distant and unreachable, know that you are not alone. The one who calls you to this journey is also the one who knows every stone and every branch on the path. He has walked this road before you, and He walks it still. His steps have made way for you. His footsteps echo in the silence, calling you forward, even when you cannot see the next step clearly. It's easy to think you must have all the answers now, but that is not what faith asks of you. Faith asks you to trust without needing to understand all the details. Faith asks you to lean not on your own understanding, but to rest in the assurance that the path is already ordained. Even when it seems dark, the road is leading somewhere beautiful, somewhere good, somewhere that is waiting for you. Look, beloved, how the seasons change without resistance. The leaves fall, and the earth is made ready for new growth. The wind comes, and the rains pour to nourish the soil. It's not by force, but by the natural rhythm of life. You too are being made ready. You too are being prepared for the next season. Do not resist the changes that come, for they are leading you to greater things. These are pieces of heaven stitched into your ordinary days. Take notice, give thanks, Joy is not something far away, it is here, tucked inside the now. You will not always feel strong, but strength is not always loud. Sometimes strength looks like showing up one more day. Sometimes strength is the soft heart that refuses to close, even after the ache. Sometimes it is in your tears. And yes, God sees everyone. Not a single drop is wasted. They are collected, treasured, woven into a healing you may not yet understand, but one day you will. And while the world may tell you to move faster, to achieve more, to strive and compete, heaven calls you to a different pace, a pace of peace, a pace of purpose. You don't need to prove anything to be worthy of love. You are already loved. You don't need to arrive to be seen. You are already seen. You don't need to carry everything alone. You were never meant to. Let that truth soften you. Let it be the melody beneath your daily steps. You are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are exactly where you need to be for what God is forming in you. Nothing is wasted in His hands. Not the delays, not the detours, not the heartbreaks. He redeems it all. He writes beauty even from ashes. So breathe, beloved. Settle your soul. Look around and see there is still goodness here. There is still mercy chasing after you. There is still grace enough for today. The same God who led you through yesterday walks beside you now. He is not done yet. The next page is already prepared. Just keep walking, one faithful step at a time. And as you continue walking, something sacred begins to rise within you, not loud, not sudden, but steady, like morning light warming the land after a long night. It's the quiet courage that grows from knowing you're not walking alone. It's the still confidence that comes from seeing how God's hand has never left yours, even when the road turned dark. Even when you could not see the way forward, His presence never stepped back. His love never wavered. You begin to notice how grace has followed you in ways you missed before. How doors that once closed did not end your story, but redirected your path to something gentler, something deeper. How the things you lost did not take away your worth. How even in the waiting, you are being strengthened, rooted, prepared. These are not small things. These are signs of the sacred unfolding. These are reminders that heaven has been closer than you knew. You may not have all the answers, but you carry something better peace in the questions. You don't need to understand the full plan to move forward. You only need to trust the one who holds the plan. The same God who parts seas and calms storms is shaping the ground beneath your feet. He is not distant. He is here, and He is enough. Let yourself believe that you are not missing out by taking the slower road. You are not forgotten because others seem to be ahead. You are not falling behind when your journey looks different. Some of the holiest things grow in hidden places. Some of the most beautiful blooms take longer to unfold, and some of the deepest roots form beneath seasons of silence. Trust what God is doing underground, even when you can't yet see the fruit. You are not in a race. You are in a relationship. This walk with Him is not about speed, it's about trust. And trust is not proven in the mountaintop moments, it's forged in the everyday faithfulness. In the small choices. In the whispered yes. In the turning back to Him when your strength is gone. That is where miracles begin. That is where heaven draws close. So take time to see the beauty along the path. Watch how the light filters through the trees. Listen for the quiet wisdom carried on the wind. Feel the ground steady beneath your step. Creation itself testifies to God's faithfulness. The seasons shift, the rivers run, the stars hold their place. None of it worries, none of it strives. They simply abide in what they were created to be. So and when the days are heavy, let that be your posture to not striving, but abiding, not performing, but receiving, not running, but resting. Rest is not weakness. Rest is holy. It is in rest that your heart opens wide enough to hear again, to feel again, to remember again that you are held, that you are loved beyond measure, that you belong, not because of what you do, but because of who you are His. There is a healing happening inside you even now. You may not feel it all at once. It may come in quiet moments, in slow returns, in mornings when the weight feels lighter, in nights when the tears stop sooner. But it is happening. The same Spirit who raised Christ from the grave is breathing life into your dry places. The same hands that healed the blind are mending what you thought would remain broken. The same love that moved mountains for the lost is moving in you. Do not underestimate the holy work within you just because it doesn't look dramatic. God works in whispers. He moves in stillness. He rebuilds from the inside out. And when it is time, the fruit will show. But even before it does, your worth is not in question. You are not loved for your harvest. You are loved simply because you exist in His heart. Let that sink deep. Let that truth dismantle every lie that told you otherwise. Let it break every chain of shame, every weight of unworthiness, every whisper that said you had to earn what's already been freely given. You don't need to prove anything. You are already chosen. You are already beloved. And when you feel weary again, as you will from time to time, remember this. There is always grace enough for another day. His mercies are not rationed. They are renewed. They meet you at sunrise, again and again, like waves that never stop reaching the shore. You cannot outrun His kindness. You cannot outsin His redemption. He is bigger than your doubt, stronger than your fear, closer than your next breath. So keep going, keep showing up, keep trusting that the God who began this good work in you will carry it to completion. Not because you are strong, but because He is faithful. He finishes what He starts. And He started something holy in you. Let this be the day you rest in that truth. Let this be the hour you breathe deeply and know you are exactly where you're meant to be. Not because the path is easy, but because the one who walks with you is good. And He is not finished. The journey continues, the story unfolds, and grace leads every step. There are days when the road still feels long and your feet feel heavier than your heart can carry. You look behind and see how far you've come, yet ahead, the way seems endless. In those moments, God does not ask you to leap forward. He simply invites you to take the next step. Just one. Not in your own strength, but with Him holding your hand. Sometimes the greatest act of faith is not in bold declarations, but in quiet endurance. It's in choosing to believe again when you're tired. It's in whispering prayers when words feel scarce. It's in rising when it would be easier to stay down. Heaven sees those moments. Heaven celebrates them. For what this world calls small, heaven calls sacred. You were never asked to carry the whole journey alone. God doesn't expect perfection. He desires presence. Your presence. He wants your heart more than your performance. He longs for your honesty more than your certainty. Bring Him your tired hope, your bruised belief, your fragile trust. He can hold it all. He can carry you through. He knows the stories you've walked through, the burdens you don't speak aloud, the ache that lingers when the world has moved on. And He honors your resilience, your hidden strength, your decision to keep loving, hoping, forgiving. These things aren't wasted. They are building something eternal within you. They are shaping a testimony that will outlast the trial. Look around, the signs of His faithfulness are still here. They are found in the unexpected peace when you should have crumbled, in the friend who texted at just the right time, in the scripture that found you when you weren't looking, in the song that stirred something long buried. These are not coincidences. These are kisses of grace, reminders that heaven is near. God is not waiting for you to reach the finish line to bless you. He's blessing you along the way. Every mile of this journey matters to Him. Every tear has been seen. Every sigh has been heard. He gathers them like precious oil, storing them not as pain to forget, but as part of the story He is redeeming. When you feel unseen, remember this: you are not forgotten. Your name is written on His hands. Your life is etched in His care. He tends to you like a gardener tends to a beloved vine. He prunes, not to punish, but to strengthen. He waters not just to sustain, but to nourish. And in due season, there will be fruit sweet, lasting, abundant. But even before the fruit, you are still His. Your identity is not in what you produce, but in who you are: chosen, known, loved. You are not working for love. You are working from love. And love that is real does not demand you to always be strong. It allows you to rest, to breathe, to simply be. So breathe, beloved. Slow down. Let your soul catch up with your body. There is no shame in needing rest. Even the strongest must sit under the shade sometimes. Even the bravest need moments of quiet. God made Sabbath for a reason, not to restrict, but to restore. Let yourself be restored. You do not have to have all the answers today. You only need to keep walking in the direction of hope. And hope is not wishful thinking. Hope is anchored in the goodness of God, in the certainty of His promises, in the unshakable truth that He is with you and for you always. If the night feels long, remember that dawn always comes. If the valley seems deep, know that you are not walking through it alone. And if the silence lingers, trust that God speaks even there. Sometimes He speaks the loudest through what feels like stillness. Sometimes His greatest miracles are forming in the quiet. There is purpose in this season, even if you can't yet name it. There is glory growing in the soil of your struggle, and in time it will bloom. Not only for your sake, but for others who will find shelter in your story, others who will find courage in your faith, others who will see the light in your eyes and know they too can make it through. You are part of something bigger than you realize. Your life echoes through eternity. Every act of love, every quiet prayer, every moment of surrender, it all matters. Nothing is wasted in God's hands. Nothing is forgotten. You are sowing seeds with your steps, and heaven is watching them grow. So lift your head. You're further along than you think. The road ahead is still unfolding, but you are not walking it without help. God goes before you. He walks beside you. He hems you in behind. You are surrounded, covered, and held, even now, especially now. This moment right here is holy ground, not because everything is perfect, but because God is present. And where He is, peace is possible, joy is possible, new beginnings are possible. All He asks is your heart, open and willing. That is where the miracle begins. So you rise again, not with a roar, but with a breath, a soft yes in the direction of light. You don't need to rush the healing. You don't need to chase the answer. You only need to lean in toward the one who already holds it all. The path ahead won't always be smooth. There will still be days of weariness. But now something has shifted inside you, a deeper knowing, a quieter strength. You're no longer walking in your own shadow, but in His light. And the light reveals more than the way forward. It reveals who you truly are. You are not the sum of your scars. You are the story of God's mercy. You are not bound by what was. You are invited into what can be. You are not limited by your weakness. You are empowered by grace. You have walked through storms and still carry the scent of rain. But now, you bloom in places no one expected life could grow. And this blooming is not loud. It is not showy. It does not demand attention. It simply is. Like wildflowers on a mountainside, it exists in quiet defiance of the harshness around it. You are that wildflower, rooted in faith, reaching for heaven, clothed in resilience. What God is doing in you doesn't need to be understood by everyone. It doesn't even need to be explained. Some things are too sacred for language. Some transformations happen in the soil, deep and hidden, long before they are seen above ground. But make no mistake, change is happening. Growth is unfolding, new life is on the way. You may feel invisible, but you are not. You are seen by the one who knit you together in the secret place. He sees your tears as prayers. He hears the groanings of your spirit that words can't carry. He knows when your heart whispers, help, even when your lips stay silent. And He responds with the kind of love that doesn't need a reason. This is the season of becoming. Not striving, not proving, but becoming. Becoming who you were always meant to be before the world tried to name you otherwise. Becoming softer in spirit and stronger in hope. Becoming someone who carries peace like a garment and gives grace like a gift. Even in your waiting, you are becoming. Waiting is not punishment. It is preparation. It is in the waiting that God refines your vision, deepens your roots, and sharpens your discernment. So don't despise the in-between. It is holy ground. It is womb space for the miracle. It is where faith takes root and becomes something unshakable. And while you wait, love. Love boldly, love quietly, love inconveniently, love when it's easy and when it's hard. Love those who understand and those who don't. Let love be the mark you leave behind. Let it be the legacy you're remembered for. Not because you had it all together, but because you chose to reflect the heart of the one who never let you go. There's power in that love. Healing power. Restoring power. It turns mourning into dancing. It brings beauty from ashes. It rewrites the narrative and reclaims what was lost. And the same love that found you in your lowest place is the love that now calls you higher. So rise with it. Let it lift you. Let it pull you into a future not defined by fear, but by promise. You are not who you were. You have grown, you have learned, you have been refined. The wilderness did not break you, revealed you. It taught you how to listen, how to hope, how to walk humbly with God. Now, you carry something holy, not a perfect life, but a surrendered one. Not answers to everything, but a faith that holds steady in the unknown. And that is more than enough. Because you were never meant to walk this path in certainty. You were meant to walk it in trust. And trust changes everything. It doesn't erase the pain, but it transforms it. It doesn't deny the valley, but it gives you courage to walk through it. Trust says, even here, I believe. Trust holds your hand in the storm and reminds you that you are never alone. So let today be enough. Let this breath be worship. Let this moment be sacred. You don't have to have it all figured out. You only have to say yes to the next step, one step at a time. One heartbeat of courage, one act of surrender, and in time, the story will unfold, the one he's writing through your life. A story marked not by ease, but by glory. Not by absence of struggle, but by presence of grace. And others will read your life and see not just you, but the God who walked with you through it all. The morning sun rises like a whisper across the hills, not in haste, not demanding attention, but faithful just as it was yesterday, just as it will be tomorrow. And somehow you feel the same light stirring in you, gentle, unwavering, steady, a quiet confirmation that grace did not end in the night. It only deepened. You stand at the edge of something sacred, not a destination, but a continuation. The journey has taught you how to see, not just with your eyes, but with your heart. It's in the way you notice the hush before the wind changes, the stillness between your thoughts, the way silence can feel like a song. You no longer rush past moments like these. Now, you linger. Now, you listen. Because you know now God speaks in the quiet things. He speaks in the rustle of the trees, in the echo of your own breath, in the way a stranger's smile can feel like home. He speaks through memories, through scripture, through dreams you thought had died but still waken you at night. He speaks in the long pauses of waiting, when nothing seems to be happening and yet everything is being made new. The world may look the same, but you see it differently. Where others see detours, you see direction. Where they see delay, you see design. You've come to understand that divine timing isn't slow, it's perfect, it's loving, it's purposeful, it's written in wisdom older than the stars. And it's that wisdom that calls you deeper. Not into answers, but into presence. Not into striving, but into surrender. You've discovered that surrender isn't weakness, it's courage. It takes strength to stop clinging, to lay down what you cannot control and say, God, you are enough, even here, especially here. So you walk on, step by sacred step. The ground beneath you doesn't need to be certain, because the one who walks with you is. You're learning to trust his pace, even when it's slower than you'd like. You're learning to embrace the stillness, not as a pause in progress, but as the very place where God whispers direction into your spirit. You're not afraid of the unknown like you once were. Now it feels more like invitation, an open hand instead of a closed door, a call to rest instead of rush. You've been stripped of what no longer serves you, and now you carry only what matters: faith, hope, love, and even those you carry loosely, letting them flow through you rather than weigh you down. There's a freedom in that, a holy lightness. You've let go of the need to be impressive. Now, you'd rather be honest. You've stopped chasing after applause and started listening for peace. You've come to see that purpose doesn't always look like platforms or perfection. Sometimes it looks like small kindnesses, silent prayers, quiet endurance. Sometimes it looks like you faithful in the unseen. And there is so much unseen, so much God is doing beneath the surface, beyond the noise, within your waiting. Every no has protected you. Every closed door has redirected you. Every delay has shaped you. You are not forgotten. You are being formed. This formation is sacred. It is not rushed. It cannot be forced. It is the slow unfolding of your soul into its truest shape. And through it all, God is not disappointed in your questions. He is not threatened by your weakness. He is with you, even in the shadowed valleys, especially there. The valley is not your enemy. It is where you learn to listen. It is where your roots went deep. It is where faith found its voice. And now, when you speak, it carries the weight of someone who has seen darkness and still chooses light. You are no longer the same, but you are more yourself than you've ever been. You've learned to walk with holy expectation, not entitlement, but hope. You know God is not a distant force, but a present friend, not a silent watcher, but a loving shepherd. He doesn't lead you in circles, he leads you in love. And when the way feels unclear, you remember. You are not called to understand the whole path. You are only called to walk the next step in faith. The miracle often meets you in the movement, in the courage to go even without all the answers, in the stillness to wait even without a timeline. So you keep walking, not because it's easy, but because you've seen what happens when you do. You've tasted the sweetness of obedience. You felt the strength that comes not from trying harder, but from trusting deeper. And as you walk, you carry light. You carry it in your eyes, in your words, in your quiet prayers. You carry it in how you show up when no one is watching, and how you keep believing when there's no proof, and how you choose joy when sorrow still lingers. This is the kind of light the world cannot explain, and it's the kind it cannot extinguish. You are the living evidence that grace wins. This is not the end, it is another beginning. Another chapter where mercy meets you fresh each morning. Another chance to walk in light, to live with purpose, to love with abandon, to trust with the kind of faith that moves mountains. You are still becoming, and the best is yet to come. The wind moves through the tall grass like a voice you once knew, a soft reminder that not all movement is seen, but all of it is felt. It doesn't push, it doesn't demand, it flows. And you're learning to flow with it, to no longer resist what you don't understand, but to trust that even what feels uncertain is somehow being woven into your good. This is the season of trust without proof, of faith beyond feelings, of choosing to stand still, not in hesitation, but in holy confidence. You've come to see that stillness is not passive, it's powerful. It is the bold refusal to act out of fear. It is the anchored choice to believe that the one who brought you this far will not stop now. You've walked through seasons that stripped you of what was shallow, and now you stand deeper than you've ever been. There's a rootedness in you now that doesn't shake with the storms. Not because the wind has stopped, but because your soul has learned how to bend. Grace has made you flexible. Mercy has made you strong. And strength now looks different to you. It's not loud. It's not harsh. It doesn't need to be noticed. It looks like peace when chaos tries to invade. It looks like holding space for joy and sorrow in the same breath. It looks like walking slowly when others rush, trusting that God's pace is more purposeful than your pressure. You've stopped measuring progress by speed. Now you measure it by depth, by the way you pray, by the way you pause, by the way your spirit leans in to listen before it speaks. You've learned that silence isn't emptiness, it's where revelation begins. It's in the silence that the spirit moves most clearly. It's where you've heard the voice of God say, I'm not just after your destination, I'm shaping your heart. And what a shaping it has been. The fire didn't burn you, it refined you. The weight didn't crush you, it prepared you. The waiting didn't waste you, it deepened you. And now, when you speak of trust, it's not theory, it's testimony. It's written in the nights you didn't give up. It's spoken through the cracks that let light shine through. You've come to understand that scars don't disqualify you, they tell your story. They don't make you less, they make you real. They say, I've been through the dark and still found the light. They say, I've doubted and still I choose to believe. They say, I've wrestled but I never walked away. And maybe that's what true faith looks like showing up anyway. You show up even when you're tired. You worship even when you don't feel it. You speak life even when the atmosphere is heavy. You serve even when no one claps. You forgive even when the pain still echoes. That kind of faith shakes the earth. That kind of faith moves heaven. And heaven has been watching, not for your perfection, but for your persistence, not for your performance, but for your posture. The kind that bows low in surrender, the kind that lifts its eyes in hope, the kind that holds on it because of how things look, but because of who God is. He has not changed. He has not turned away. His promises are still intact. And even when the world feels unstable, He remains your steady ground, the rock beneath your every step, the light that never fades, the shepherd who still leads. So you keep following, not because the path is easy, but because it is holy, because it is marked by purpose, because it has been written just for you. And with every step, heaven sings over you, not because you have it all together, but because you're walking in the direction of your calling, even if you walk with a limp. You are still moving forward, still believing, still trusting, and that's more than enough. There's something sacred about the way you've learned to wait not with clenched fists, but with open hands, not with bitterness, but with expectation. You've come to understand that waiting with God is not a punishment, it's preparation. It's where your roots grow deeper. It's where faith becomes more than words. And now, the fruit is starting to show. Not in ways that shout, but in the quiet peace that lingers in your steps, in the kindness that colors your speech, in the stillness that steadies your heart. You no longer chase every open door, because you know not every opportunity is divine. You wait for the whisper. You wait for the peace. You wait for the yes that comes from heaven's hand, because you've tasted the difference. You've seen what happens when you move ahead of God, and you've seen what happens when you move with Him. You've come to treasure the alignment more than the outcome. You care less about being seen and more about being faithful. You'd rather be hidden in His will than exposed outside of it. That's maturity. That's trust. And it's that kind of trust that heaven honors. The kind that says, even if I can't see it, I believe you're working. The kind that holds space for both grief and gratitude. The kind that kneels in surrender, even when the answers are still unclear. You've learned to stop demanding clarity and start welcoming presence. His presence has become your compass. You no longer navigate by control. Now you navigate by peace. And when peace leaves, you don't just shrug it off, you stop. You ask. You wait. You don't force your way forward. You listen for the still small voice that has never led you astray. And when it speaks, you move it not with fear, but with trust. You've stopped chasing outcomes, you chase obedience, and that has changed everything. It's not that the pain disappeared, it's that you discovered a joy deeper than pain. It's not that the question stopped, it's that you found rest in the one who holds the answers. It's not that the storms ended, it's that you found a refuge in the middle of them, and that refuge is Him. He's always been the point, not the blessing, not the breakthrough, not the platform, just Him. And now that you know that, you're free. You're not striving for success. You're anchored in surrender. You're not trying to earn grace. You're living from it. You're not working for love. You're rooted in it. And that love will carry you through the valleys that still come, through the days that still ache, through the prayers that still wait. Love will carry you because love has never failed you. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And He's still writing your story. So don't rush the pages. Don't skip the chapters that feel slow. Don't despise the paragraphs written in tears. They are part of your testimony. They are part of your beauty. They are part of the glory God is revealing in you. And when you look back, you'll see nothing was wasted. Not a moment, not a tear, not a prayer. It all mattered. It all still does.